And we are back. Welcome back to another episode of Golf on Tap. You can follow us on Twitter at OnTapGolf. He is Jack Bushman at Jack Bushman2. I am Joey Ricotta at Joey Knows Nothing. Jack, I got a bad taste in my mouth. Bad taste in my mouth, and it's not just because I've been drinking coffee all the way up until 10:30 at night, and it tasted horribly because we left it just sitting there for way too long. But also because last week was absolutely horrific for me. Down to my missed cut or make cut bets, absolutely everything was horrible about the Players' Championship. For me, how are you doing, Jack? How was last week for you?
Yeah, nothing too great. Only Minwoo Lee top 40 cash for me. I didn't have an outright on him though, so it's not like I had really any skin in the game come Sunday. I guess I did for a little bit, but it was before Scotty Scheffler had even teed off when Max Homa was kind of making his late push, and then he ultimately ended up hitting it in the water on 17. So it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Scotty Scheffler just doing Scotty Scheffler things, running away with it. So yeah, another week without a winner, man. It's been a tough little stretch here for sure, and it's kind of just been a reminder that betting on golf is so difficult. I feel like I've just been on swings the last year that we've been doing the show, where in the fall I was on an absolute heater. Last playoff season I crushed it, but the entire summer before that I went cold. I'm back to being cold again here, and right when I thought it was getting easy in the fall, when I think I hit three outrights in 7 weeks, it's been a tough slap in the face to start off 2023. So yeah, it didn't go any better for me last week, brother. I'm right there with you, but maybe we can get things going here at the Valspar in the final week of the PGA Tour's Florida Swing.
That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, you talked about swings. We are continuing the Florida Swing here with the Valspar Championship at, where are we at here? Innisbrook Resorts Copperhead Course in Palm Harbor, Florida. Yeah, man, it's just kind of one of those things right now where you kind of had some guys up there near the top a little bit, kind of like you said, but it's just, for me, I kind of avoided a little bit of that range. And Scheffler, dude, his 6th win in 13 months, and he's back to number one now. I mean, him or Rahm, Rahm or him or Rahm, Rahm or him. It's just like it's getting old at this point where, I mean, it's not getting old where it's like, okay, we have another budding star here. Not even budding. It's just another star here. But it's getting old for me where it just feels like, okay, come on, give somebody else a turn. Like, let's see somebody else win here. And I mean, maybe that's just the golf better in me where I don't love betting on guys who have been just continuously winning. I don't do that. That's not my strategy. I tried to take a different route, and maybe the 10-1, 11-1, 12-1 guys, you just have to continue to pound the table for. And, this week we've got a couple of big names at the top, and then the rest of the field kind of falls off of a cliff because that's what seems to happen after the Players' Championship. We've seen it, year after year at this point. So, yeah, man, Valspar Championship. Like, what are you looking forward to here? As far as, I mean, off air, you kind of mentioned how much or what you think about this course, anyways, from a positive standpoint. What are you looking at from a betting perspective, or like key stats, metrics, things like that here at Copperhead?
Yeah, Copperhead is one of my favorite courses. It does stink that with this event coming after the Arnold Palmer Invitational and the Players, which are now 2 elevated events. So all the best players in the world are going to be at those 2 back-to-back weeks. Most of them are going to skip out on the Valspar, but it's unfortunate because I really do think this course is one of the best tests on the PGA Tour schedule. It really is kind of a U.S. Open style course. They're just not going to play a U.S. Open here because it's going to be scorching hot at the time of the year. So, but talk about a lot of long rough. You need to be playing from the fairway. The rough's usually 3 inches here, Joey. They've supposedly raised it up to 3.75 this year. So I expect it to be playing even more difficult. We've seen Sam Burns reach 17 under as he's won this event back-to-back years. I don't think the winning score is going to get to 17. I could see the winning score being 12 or 13. And if the winds pick up and the conditions become difficult, I wouldn't be surprised to see it in the single digits because it's a very difficult golf course. Even though you want to be playing from the fairway, it's some of the tougher fairways to hit on tour, tree line fairways with tons of dog legs. You got to position yourself well. And then also, it's a long course, 7,340 yards, but a lot of the time it can play longer than that because well, a ton of guys can't hit driver because you miss the fairway, you're in the rough, you're going to be hacking it out of there. You can bring some big numbers into play. And they got some really small greens here. So there's just nothing easy about this course. You're going to need to have a good all around game. Tee to green really has seemed to dominate in terms of like top finishers and winners over the years, but you're going to need to have the ability to scramble, get up and down, have good around the green play because you're not going to get around Copperhead danger free, like escaping everything. You're going to be tested from time to time. It's just the way it is here, which is the way that I prefer golf courses to be played personally. But and then you also got to be making enough putts to keep yourself in contention. It doesn't have to be, a spike putting week necessarily. If the irons or other parts of your game are good, or if the other parts are lacking, you're going to need to be gaining a ton. I really think, going to take an all around game for the most part in order to have a chance here this week, Joey. As far as some key stats that I've kind of looked at, strokes gained approach is always the big dog when we're talking about stats that we're looking at. Strokes gained around the green and bogey avoidance are two stats that I wanted to throw in there on this course as well. One of the key breakdowns in terms of the layout is that there's 5 par 3s here, and they're all super tough for the most part. 3 of them play over 215 yards. One gets all the way back to 235. So there's going to be a lot of shots coming from those longer par 3s. And then just in general, with the way this course is set up, trying to go for it and 2 on the par 5s. I just referenced those long par 3s. And then if you do lay up, you're going to be, a little bit further back going into the par 4s. I think 175 to 200 yards, that kind of pocket, or even maybe 200 yards plus shots, looking at proximity from those kind of 2 ranges. So those are kind of the things that I'm looking at. But as I referenced, I think in order to win this tournament, you're going to have a good all-around game. And that kind of has me thinking top of the board personally, but I'm interested to see what you have to think about everything when we go through it and some of the guys that you're intrigued on the betting board, because I know you don't like betting at the top, but listen, I mean, it feels like those are the guys that we're seeing win tournaments. Scotty Scheffler, John Rahm, we're seeing these guys win at, 8, 10 to 1. We keep passing up on them, but at some point it feels like we got to adapt to the times. And I don't know if this is the tournament because it is a weaker field, but certainly something to keep in mind for sure, just going forward in the golf betting scene that we're in right now.
There's no question about it. And I hate it. I can't stand it. I say it every week. You've been on those underneath 40 to 1 guys or 40 to 1 range and, the more favored guys basically every week, and you've been a lot closer or in the runnings more weeks than not, and more weeks than I have this season. So, I mean, I really don't have I can't say anything about the strategy this year because it's working for you anyways. It's not working for me. And look, I just can't stand it. I like a lot of things you said about as far as the stats go. The other thing I'll add is the narrow fairways. So I did look at driving accuracy quite a bit because the rough, like you said, that's going to be difficult. Definitely looking at the scramblers. But I didn't really factor it in as much as maybe I should have here. And that's just because, I don't know, like strokes gained around the green or scramblers. So I was looking more at like the scrambling stat than I was strokes gained around the green, because if you look at strokes gained around the green, you're going to find JT up near the top. And that's kind of went against my narrative this week. So I kind of filtered out like where I could and built around that way. The snake pit. You had it in your article there. Do you want to talk a little bit about the nasty snake pit there down the stretch?
Yeah, it's the closing 3 holes, and it usually ranks right there among the toughest 3-hole stretches on the PGA Tour. It feels like there's some of these at all of the Florida courses, which is pretty cool, and I like that staple to these courses. But yeah, it's 2 long and dangerous par fours are 16 and 18, and then 17 in the middle is a 215-yard par 3. All these holes usually play among the toughest on the course. And an interesting fun fact, too, no Valspar winner has ever played those 3 holes under par on Sunday. So even though they still emerge victorious, that shows you how difficult these 3 closing holes are. So for anyone who's going to be watching this tournament and betting on it, if you think you have a shot, if your guy's in the lead down the stretch on Sunday, don't go hooting and hollering, because multi-shot swings and big numbers can happen on those 3 holes in a hurry, and vice versa. If you have someone who you don't think really is in contention, you never know what can happen down the stretch here at Copperhead. So it's a really fun golf course, really difficult, challenges the players. As I mentioned, that's what I like to see the most on the PGA Tour. I honestly don't think we get that enough. So I'm excited about this tournament, not that excited about this field or the numbers that are surrounding some of these guys, but it is a course that I really do enjoy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see down the stretch, as you mentioned, with the snake pit and, guys, it's just, you're not going to rack up strokes that way, or you're not going to gain ground.
Par is good. Par is good.
Par is your friend. That's why bogey avoidance is just so important here at this course. Kind of just managing it well until you get near the end. Speaking of, too, last year, though, I mean, now back-to-back, you mentioned Sam Burns, I mean, with the 17 under, back-to-back 17 unders to win. And Scheffler last week, 17 under, different course, obviously, different tournament, but 17 under, ran away from the freaking field. Tyrrell Hatton was 5 back of him. I mean, it wasn't even close what he was doing, but, you kind of talked about Sam Burns, not seeing him do a 17 under again here for a 3rd straight year and three-peating this event. Is it more form with him before we kind of break down this board, or is it just it's just that difficult here? That's pretty much what you're getting at?
Are you saying because I said I didn't see it getting to 17 under? I'm not going to bet Sam Burns, but I don't see it getting to 17 under because I think the fairway is going to play, or the rough's going to be playing longer this year. I just don't see it playing any easier than it's been. And even when Sam Burns did get to 17 under those last couple of years, if you look at some of the previous low scores that won this tournament, Paul Casey, I think, won one year at 8 under. There have been some really there have been scores in the single digits here that have won this golf tournament. So I think if weather gets impacted and the wind gets involved, I wouldn't count it out to see that again here in 2023. Yeah,
no doubt. And it looked like, and I haven't looked today, and I definitely should have, especially since we're so close now. It looked like rounds 2 through 4, the wind was really going to be picked up. So yeah, to your point, that's we're looking at 3 rounds of potentially wind problems. That's not a recipe for 17 under by anybody. So yeah, what do you say, Jack? Let's go ahead and dive in here. Let's look at this board. The favorites. We do it every week. We look at it every week. For some reason, my odds checker, I'm using odds checker, it's a little off here because I don't see Jordan Spieth near the top of the board. So I'm going to have to use a different app here. Just look at an app. Why don't we use our sponsor, Bet Rivers? And if you go to Bet Rivers, you can use the promo code ONTAP for an up to $250 deposit match. That's promo code ONTAP for an up to $250 deposit match. What are you waiting for? It's free money. Go get it. JT, Justin Thomas at the top. He's 9-1 on Bet Rivers. Should we use the enhanced odds, Jack?
Definitely. Go and throw those enhanced odds out there.
Yeah, that's what we like to do anyways.
Right away for all the folks listening. Go and find those enhanced odds on Bet Rivers. You got to do a little digging, but if you go and just hit on the golf menu at the top, go down to the Valspar Championship in the little bottom left corner, it'll say plus 17 bets. Hit that, scroll across, find those enhanced odds. Usually the best odds out there. I'd say 90% of my bets come on this app.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you'll find discrepancies between different golfers where they just, maybe they think they're just a better favorite than another app. But for the most part, you're going to get the best odds you can, especially from this app, using those enhanced odds. So don't just use the regular outright numbers, use the enhanced odds like Jack said, and follow the instructions because it is hard to find. You will miss it just offhand. So let's look at it. JT, he's 10-1 with the enhanced odds. Jordan Spieth, 14-1. Matthew Fitzpatrick, 18-1. Sam Burns, going for the three-peat, 18-1. And then Justin Rose is 20-1. I do not like that number. Very interested by Justin Rose this week, though. Jack, these top 5 golfers, what do you have? And let's hear kind of your thoughts about them.
Yeah, so the 2 that really caught my eye, the shortest numbers, unfortunately, Justin Thomas at 10-1, Jordan Spieth at 14-1. I feel like I don't particularly love where Jordan Spieth's putter is at, but I don't like where Justin Thomas's really is either. So for me, it just came down to getting the better number. I caught Jordan Spieth at 14-1. So I bet Spieth, but he and Thomas were really the 2 that I've been looking at. Spieth's just been actually taking advantage of kind of his opportunities a little better and still been finishing within the top 5 and within the top 10, despite the putter kind of, even when he gains strokes, he's not gaining a whole lot on the field. Justin Thomas is still kind of dwindling and finishing T20. And while I certainly think, his irons can pop at any given time, and maybe a course like this where scoring isn't at a premium is a little bit more up his alley. I just like where Jordan Spieth is at a little bit better. I, of course, have worries about him on the putting surface, but I ended up going with Jordan Spieth 14-1 to start off my card. Matthew Fitzpatrick, I don't like where he's at right now. I think this is a good course, but honestly, he's only won once in America. It happened to be at the U.S. Open. I don't know. It feels like if Matthew Fitzpatrick's not going to win, I'm not going to bet him at 16-1. And then Sam Burns, obviously, this feels like the course where you want to take him. He's won 2 years in a row. The form's been too terrible for me. So I feel like in this day and age, as we talked about, and where golf betting is at, you probably got to have one of these guys, especially in a weaker field. So I took Jordan Spieth at 14-1 to start my card.
I like it. JT, I just can't really trust right now, and I feel like this could be the kind of tournament where he is kind of using it to kind of get his groove back a little bit and not necessarily looking to just take it down. Him and Spieth want to win every time out. There's no question about it in my mind that they want to win every time out, but this does lack a little bit of importance for these 2 guys. Like they look at those majors, they look at those bigger, stronger field events a little bit differently. How can you not, right? So with the way that Justin's playing right now, I'm just not going to get there 9-1. I'm just not. I'm just going to use my same strategy. With Spieth, you kind of said, I think he's getting back on track here a little bit. He's gained strokes on approach, strokes gain approach in 4 straight. Probably, I think I'm probably going to bet Spieth. I have not done it yet. I think Spieth is probably the first one on my card just from an odds point of view. Burns, man, I don't know. He's a potential like one and done pick. I don't know if I've used him yet. So that's something I got to ask you or talk to you about. But I do like Burns at least to be like a top 10. I think top 10 is pretty safe here for Burns, or top 20. But the problem is you're not going to get great odds at the top 20 when he's this high on the board. So, yeah, I just can't see a three-peat. I don't know. Could he do it? Absolutely. One of the first guys you look at here. Justin Rose. That's where he might be my favorite of this tournament. I hate the number there on Bet Rivers. I think I grabbed him at 22-1. A lot of approach shots, and I think you said 200 plus. So when I was looking at datagolf.com, it seemed to be projected that a lot of the guys were in that 150 to 200 yard bucket. Rose is he's projecting for 7.8 shots per round from that bucket. At a normal course for him, he's at 6.9. Now, that 150 to 200 yard range is where Rose has excelled. Second to Carl Yuan, however you say his name. I don't even know. I should know that. In this field in proximity from 150 to 200 from the fairway. And he should be on the fairway quite a bit because he's 16th in accuracy. He's good at avoiding bogeys. I mean, he's played 40 rounds here, Jack. He's 7th in the field in average adjusted strokes gained. A win at Pebble Beach recently, T6 at the Players last weekend. kind of feeling another one here for Justin Rose, even though I definitely hate this number.
Yeah, I'm literally the same way. I love the upside with Justin Rose from what we're seeing right now. He's constantly gaining from approach, and when he is putting well, the finishes have been high end. T9 back at the Houston Open earlier this year, just had a T6 at the Players Championship last week. You mentioned that he obviously took down Pebble Beach earlier this year, got back in the winning circle for the first time in quite a while. Justin Rose was the one who was really giving me troubles, and honestly, I have a little bit more that I could fill in on my card, and this was one that I was considering because while I don't love the number, I still think in a tournament like this, Justin Rose has shown he has legitimate winning upside. Can he do it 2 times within a month and a half? I don't know. That might be a little bit much, but you mentioned his numbers are looking really good. I just talked about his approach play being good. And when we're talking about winning golf tournaments is a really hard thing to do. And we've been seeing a lot of the same guys winning, not only so far this year, but over the last 5-6 months. It's been a lot of the big names, and Justin Rose, don't get it twisted. While he is a little bit further along in his career and a little bit past his prime, he's still capable of winning tournaments, especially one like this that doesn't have the big star power per se. So I could see myself getting on Justin Rose at 20-1 as well.
All right. We might have a squad ride there then, huh? You haven't really quite got there though yet. So
I haven't. I have made 4 bets and I have a little bit room left on my card.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm hoping here with Rose. I mean, definitely a lot that intrigues me about it. 25-1, we have Tommy Fleetwood. A lot of steam on him this week. I'm interested about your thoughts. We have Adam Hadwin, 25-1. Davis Riley's 30-1. And then you go down these names here at 35. Wyndham Clark, Brian Harmon, the little weasel, Denny McCarthy, 35-1. I mean, I don't know. Like these, I get it. What are you thinking though? I'm really interested in those first 2 names or first 3 names I mentioned, Jack. What do you think about this area here?
Yeah, the one that I already bet on is Adam Hadwin, who has arguably some of the best course history of anyone in this tournament. He's been playing some pretty good golf here as of late. I feel like, and also there's just been this weird thing where guys have been winning here multiple times. We've seen it with Paul Casey. We've seen it with Sam Burns. Adam Hadwin's won this tournament before. Could he do it a second time? I don't know. I think 25-1 is a pretty fair number if you want to bet it now. I got him at 28-1. That was the second bet I made. I did think about Tommy Fleetwood a little bit, and I certainly don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities that he wins this tournament, but
he still doesn't have a win.
Doesn't have a win here, and he's 25-1. He did win on the DP World Tour not that long ago, but I don't know. It feels like there's always one round where that holds Tommy back. And I don't know. I've never really been a guy that bets Tommy, and 25-1, it just really doesn't do it for me. So I'm out on Tommy this week. The other one that kind of intrigued me the most in this range was Wyndham Clark. A lot of people had a lot of buzz on Wyndham Clark this week, who he has been making cuts consistently and finishing in the top 30 with a couple sprinkled high-end finishes in there. I just don't know if I can. I didn't obviously bet him at this point, but I just don't think I can bet on Wyndham Clark to win a golf tournament. I have concerns if there's just so many guys in this tournament that I have concerns. Can they legitimately win this thing, right? Like on this weaker event, maybe they can, but I'm still attracted to more guys at the top. So that's why I may not even be afraid to go Spieth, Rose, Hadwin, and then I got 2 guys kind of sprinkled in down here, and then I might just call it.
Yeah, I mean, Hadwin is so full disclosure, I bet him at 28-1 as well.
Oh, nice.
But I am like sitting here at this moment now, and I'm it's not that I'm regretting it. I love your analysis on it. It's just the fact that if I want Spieth, like how many guys is too many to bet? Where in this range where I do have some long shots, Jack. Like I actually like some long shots this week. When there's weeks where I just kind of throw darts, and then there's weeks where I feel a little bit better about it. And maybe it's just because of the field this week. being what it is, I kind of feel a little bit better about where some guys are trending and what their strengths are. Looking into it a little bit.
I'm betting 5 guys, and I cut it after 60-1. I cut it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I get it. I totally get it, man. I think Hadwin with his accuracy too with the driver, I think Hadwin makes a ton of sense. Davis Riley, like he's intriguing too. I'm not going to bet him, but I mean, we kind of talked about. I think we talked about him losing the playoff to Burns last year. Dude, he was 18 under going into that final round last year. I mean, then he shot 1 over par in the 4th round, but or was it 2 under? Let's see. It was really the 5th hole. I think he triple bogeyed that 5th hole. Like that was it. Other than that, he had a great tournament last year. So it seems like maybe he understands this course. He can really play well here. But yeah, I didn't get there. Let's see here. Looking down a little bit further. Justin Suh. I don't know. I've heard his name said so many different ways from people, but 40-1. Maverick McNeely, 45-1. Taylor Moore, 45-1. Gary Woodland. You have Ben Griffin at 50-1. And then the Jägermeister, 55-1. Brandon Wu, 55-1. So we're before that 60 range. Jack, is there anybody in here?
Yeah, Justin Suh. I think it's Suh. I don't know. It could be either one. I'm going to stick with Suh. I like that better. Been performing really well down here in the Florida swing. Had a chance, was there at the Honda Classic, and then his putter just completely abandoned him on Sunday. But if you go and look at his numbers, what he's done the last 2 weeks, his putter really has regrouped. This is a kid who was, right there with Matthew Wolff, Victor Hovland, Colin Morikawa that emerged together as the premier college golfers coming onto the PGA Tour. He's just kind of hit his stride a little bit later than they have. But if you look at his finishes since really the fall, it's kind of been just a steady upward trend for Justin Suh. And I feel like he's kind of got some confidence going now. I don't love 40-1. I think he should probably be like 60-71. But I'm a believer of some money's better than no money. So I don't know if Justin Suh can take down a tournament yet. I don't know if he's ready for that, but I feel like 40-1 is still a fair enough number where I'm wanting to take a flyer on him. So he was the one that I was kind of interested in the most. If Gary Woodland could fucking putt whatsoever, I'd be semi-interested, but he genuinely is like the worst putter on tour right now.
Yeah, I don't trust it.
Ben Griffin has been playing some great golf. I don't know if he can win a golf tournament, but I'd like bet that he comes like inside the top 30 and probably plays well. Obviously had that stretch where he was in the lead, I think, on Friday at the Players Championship. So Suh ended up being the only one that I got to in this range. But yeah, those were the other guys that I was interested in a little bit. What about you? You got anyone here?
It's Suh. I mean, we're kind of right in line here this week. And I think it's just because what we were researching here this week, we were pretty much building the same type of narrative with our card. And so, I mean, the only thing is, though, with him, it's more so I feel like the ceiling is there, and he's pretty good lately. I mean, with him, he's not a great scrambler or on bogey avoidance. So it's the ceiling, it's the 12th in proximity, it's the pretty good on long approach shots for me. That's kind of what I'm going off of with Suh. I agree, though. I want that number to be a little bit better, but I had to bet it at 40-1.
The irons are just so good. The irons are so good right now. I think it has to be bet.
Yeah, no doubt. Totally agree. Let's see here. Where's Aaron Rye at? He's down a little bit. Is Aaron Rye still on this card? Why did I miss him?
He might have withdrew.
Did he?
Was he here? Are you going
he
crazy?
Was? No, I thought he was here. Am I going crazy?
Now I gotta look up Aaron Rye on Twitter.
Well, for whatever reason, I wrote him down as like, oh, good accuracy guy. Greens and reg, best in the field in greens and reg, and good drives gained as well. Why did I write that down if he's not in the field? I could absolutely be losing my mind. I probably am.
I think Aaron Rye is out this week. Yeah, he withdrew. He withdrew yesterday.
Okay, no rye bread this week. That's fine. I wasn't really going to bet him anyways. I just thought he was very interesting, and I wanted to get if you were betting on him. I was kind of trying to pull that out of you. Victor Perez, 66-1. Beniana, 70-1. Joel Damon, 70-1. Tyler Duncan, 71. Will Gordon, 71. Bo Hostler, 70-1. KH Lee, 70-1. JT Poston, Nick Taylor, Johnny Vegas. They're all 70-1. I'm getting sick of saying 70-1 after every name. I don't know why I did that. Nate Lashley is 90-1. Are there any guys in the 70-1 range before I move on? Because there was a lot.
Yeah, this was, kind of where I made my final bet. 66-1, Victor Perez, who mostly plays over on the DP World Tour. And I'm not like the biggest follower of the DP World Tour and their finishes and stuff, but he won 3 starts ago over there. And since then has finishes of T28, T13, starts prior to that, T12, T44, had a 3rd place finish at the DS Automobile Italian Open, which is one of the biggest tournaments over on the DP World Tour. So a guy that's competed over there and has some high-end finishes, legitimate winning upside. He's gained strokes with the putter in 5 consecutive events, usually gains off the tee every week, is an accuracy guy, also gains a little bit on distance. So he can put it out there. I think a long golf course won't be treacherous for him in any way. So I took a flyer on Victor Perez at 66-1, and that's where I ended my card.
I like the logic there behind Perez. I admit I did not look enough into him this week. So that could be one I missed. And I love that you outlined some of what he does well. Let's see. So I told you I have some interest here down in the long shots. I don't have anybody else down here before the 100-1 range. Well, that's not true. I guess on Bet Rivers, it's David Lingmerth is 90-1. But I grabbed him at 125-1 on MGM. So, and that to me, that feels like an off-the-wall radar, like off-the-radar guy. But then I was hearing his name this week as well. And I'm like, why are people mentioning him? This is supposed to be my sneaky guy. What is happening? Because I kept seeing him kind of pop up. I mean, the Englishman, this dude, T6 at the Players, T10 at the Honda Classic, always seems to be a course fit guy on Data Golf. He always seems to be the guy. I don't know what it is. I look at it every week, and he just pops towards the top of that. I mean, I think they comparatively, they don't judge based on, or they judge a little bit based on talent, though, too. So, like, you constantly see the guys that are a fit just about anywhere, like your JTs, the top of the line guys. Those guys always fall kind of towards the middle because they're just about a fit everywhere. So you can't put them as a great course fit guy. But Lingmerth is always usually at the top of that board. Great accuracy. Usually loses strokes off the tee, but distance might not be the huge factor here. So I kind of like Lingmerth. Let's see here.
I've seen Lingmerth love this week. A lot of Lingmerth love.
Yeah, and then it really surprised me, honestly, even though I'm on him. It did surprise me. I cannot lie about that. Let's see here. The 100-1. So Akshay? I know you're kind of an Akshay guy. Are you on him this week?
I am an Akshay guy this week. Listen, I'll be heartbroken if I miss out. I don't think Akshay's beating like Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas this week. Like one of those high-end guys is going to play well, and I don't think Akshay's going to outgun him. If he does, I'll be heartbroken that I missed out on Akshay, but I'm probably not there. Did have a really good finish though in his last time out on the Corn Ferry Tour, I believe, at the or maybe even it was the Puerto Rico Open.
Yeah, Puerto Rico Open.
Yeah,
yep.
That was a PGA Tour event. Came in second, so that's not even close to a field like this. But I don't know. I'm just not getting there this week. If it happens, great. I'm just not there.
No, I'm kind of with you. I definitely was interested. I wanted to do it. I took him for a top 40 though, so I'm spoiling that a little bit. Plus 160 on FanDuel. We're cheating on a different sports book here, but yeah, man, he earned his tour status too with that solo runner-up at the Puerto Rico Open. So pretty cool for him. A little bit of full circle moment because he actually debuted at Valspar in 2019 when he was 17 years old. So I don't know, man. I mean, his results so far this year pretty solid. Maybe the pressure's off where he can win now, right? Like he was just had the pressure to get his tour status, and I don't know. Maybe there's something there, but I definitely think he's a guy that's going to make the cut and probably finish respectably here. So I'll be sad for you though if he wins and you're not betting him. So Eric Cole too is another name. The Chris Kirk outing. Eric Cole, man, I might have to bet him for an outright little sprinkle. I do have him for a top 40. 7 of his last 10 events, 2 of those non-top 40. 7 of his last 10, he has had top 40 though. 2 of those top 40s, he missed the cut. He's kind of rolling though. Narrowly losing in the Honda Classic. Mentioned that with a second place finish to Chris Kirk. Also, he's been scrambling his butt off so far this year. I looked at that. He's been really scrambling well. And if we talked about a course where scrambling could really matter, I think Eric Cole could be in for a surprisingly another good finish here. Who's another guy down this list that Ryan Gerard? I took him to make the cut. Minus 125 MGM. I bet MGM, you could find it there. Was kind of considering a top 20, top 40 something for Gerard. I actually am thinking about sprinkling an outright for Gerard. I think I'm probably going to do that. No more than like a $5, $10, something like that. What are his odds right now, Jack, for Gerard? I don't see it right now. I
saw 150 to 1 on Bet Rivers.
That's kind of healthy looking for the way he's playing.
It's a good number. Is he going to win?
I mean, I don't know. T11, T4, and T3 in his last 3 events. T4 at the Honda Classic. I mean, look, some of these fields aren't terrible either. The Honda Classic wasn't great, but
I live bet Ryan Gerard at the Honda Classic. It was like 30 to 1, and he was in like 3rd place. I was like 30 to 1, 3rd place. I'm in.
That's a gimme.
I think he came in 4th, and I hedged like to get my money back, top 5, and I think he came T4. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I won $2 on old Ryan Gerard.
Hey, that's something. $2 is better than losing money. So
you're not wrong.
I don't know, man. That was probably the weakest field that we've seen as of late, too. That Honda Classic, right?
That and this,
and yeah, another dog doo-doo field here. So maybe he does well again. I mean, he's never played here. He actually needs a 2-way T54 here to clear the hurdle for a special temporary membership too. So little added incentive there. So maybe the top 40 I kind of like for sure. Anybody else, Jack? I know you're not outright wise, but anybody that you might be looking at for like a prop, intriguing guy here is we're not going to go through the entire list of long shots.
I thought it was funny that you brought up Eric Cole. I was thinking Eric Cole plus 140 for a top 40. That feels like a pretty generous number. And then I also did see Akshay plus 450 top 20. I thought that might be worth a sprinkle. There was one more top 20 that I thought was decent odds. Let me get back to it. Victor Perez plus 2 for a top 20. I thought was a pretty fair number. So those are kind of the 3 that stood out to me. I don't know. It depends on probably if I bet Justin Rose. If I bet Justin Rose, I probably won't bet these. If I don't bet Justin Rose, I'll probably bet these.
For outrights or you're talking about for the placements? Or...
For the placements.
Fuck it. But the placements don't matter. Place those bets anyways. Just those are separate. Those are separate.
I only like a certain amount down every week. So that's how
that's fair.
That's how I kind of space it out in terms of what I want to win every week and how I want to like space out my bets. So
you're doing it like a strategic businessman. You got your whole budget for the whole year lined up for marketing or whatever. Me, I'm just like, fuck it. Let's advertise everybody.
Let's start withdrawing, baby.
Just start withdrawing. Yeah. Start putting the deposits in. Yeah, man. You know whose course this is too? This is the Luke. Huh?
Sam Burns.
It's of course Sam Burns' course. It's kind of the Luke Donald course too.
Oh God, what in 1997?
Dude. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Let me see. Let me look up Luke Donald.
Yeah, look him up real quick and get back to me because you're gonna see Luke Donald's 12 of 13 cuts made at this track. He won an event here. way back on meter. It wasn't quite 1997, Jack. It was 2012. It's called the Transitions Championship at the time. five top tens, 8 top 25s. Donald's played 42 rounds at this course. I don't know if it's more than anybody, but it's definitely up there. And he's just below Justin Rose in average adjusted strokes gained here, 8th in the field when looking at datagolf.com. So I'm thinking a placement. I don't know if he can win it. I don't think he can win it again here. I mean, I definitely don't think that, but a placement bet, like a top 40 or a cut made. I couldn't find a cut made for Luke Donald or made cut bet, but top 40, I don't know. What can we find for a top 40 for Luke Donald? Do you see anything out there right now?
I'm going to go take a look, but he genuinely gains on the putting surface and around the green here like every year.
Fuck it, I'm in.
Let's see if we can find top 20 for Luke Donald live on the show.
Let's go.
I'm gonna scroll down. I mean, my thumbs are getting a workout right now. Luke Donald top 20 plus 650.
Oh, we're in. We are in.
That's pretty good.
We are in 650.
I don't know if he can come inside the top 20 though. I know he has done it 2 of the last 3 years.
I'm hedging with a full unit on the top 40. I'm going to hedge with the top 40 full unit. I'll go a little sprinky dink. Let's go like a quarter unit or a half unit on the top 20.
That would be, I mean, I'd like hedge this week. If I don't hit an outright and Luke Donald comes in the top 20, I'd basically make my money back.
That's a win.
If I threw a quarter unit on it.
Yeah, just quarter unit. Budget that, Jack. Put that in the budget.
well, it might have to happen.
Any head-to-head matchups or little novelty props? I guess nationality props.
Well, while we're on the topic, let's get crazy. What's Luke Donald first round leader?
Oh shit! When's the last time we did this with the first round leader? One of them, I forgot to tell you about.
Yeah, fuck you! You hit Cam Young at the Open, and then I went on to get my heart broken when Cameron Smith made 6 birdies in a row on the back 9 and stole the trophy out of Rory's hands.
And then I won. And then I won the bet with Cam Smith too.
Oh yeah, you're a real sack of shit for that.
I think so, right? I did get Cam Smith.
Honestly, no one was happier than me when Cam Smith left for Live. That guy cost me so much fuck. Him and Morikawa have cost me the most money of anyone.
Dude.
When Scotty Scheffler usually wins, the one thing I will say, he wins by a landslide and he runs away with it. Morikawa and Cam Smith have straight up ripped money out of my hands on Sundays.
Yeah. I mean, we have the complete opposite experience with those two golfers.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, we do.
Luke Donald, first round leader, 130 to 1.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm in. What's that on?
DraftKings.
DraftKings? Is that
such a bad idea.
It's a terrible idea, and that's why I love it. I'm only for bad ideas, Jack. Let's see. Yeah. What were we gonna say? Sorry.
I'm gonna try to find out what Luke Donald's done in round 1s here.
Oh yeah, I forgot we can actually track that. They do track that now. They've been doing it. It probably is. I just don't know where to find it on Data Golf or haven't looked.
Now we're really in the deep thick of it here with Luke fucking Donald, who is totally not worth it.
It's all right. We usually go an hour and we're at 45 minutes. We sped through this episode this time. So we got a little time.
It's because this field stinks.
Yeah, it's because it's the Valspar Championship right after the Players.
How has Luke Donald even been playing? Actually, for Luke Donald, all things considered, not terrible. He's 45 years old.
He's our Stewie Sink this week.
He finished T40 at the Genesis, T39 at the API. Those are actually good finishes for him.
He
He loses so much. He genuinely hits the ball like 260 yards.
Yeah, he doesn't hit it far.
He loses off the tee and on distance every week.
Does he need to this week, though, if he knows the course so well, especially?
It's not like it's the longest course in the world. It's not short either. It's kind of a tweener. But I'd rather have you hitting from the fairway, and he is still kind of capable of doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I definitely think yeah, I mean, whatever, dude. We're in. We're bought in. I'm bought in. I think you are too now.
Am I just not betting my outright on Justin Rose so I can blow it all away on Luke Donald now?
I mean, don't do that. I definitely still choose Rose. Yeah, but no, you just a little sprinkle. I mean, 150. Did you say 150 to 1 for a first round leader?
Dude, I just looked up his picture on PGAtour.com, and he's so old.
Is he
45 on today's PGA Tour is like 65 10 years ago, you know?
Yeah,
like, you're real old.
He's reaching like dinosaur years in golf.
How have his round one's been? I'm gonna find out. I'll get back to you here shortly.
Tell
the people what props you like.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much. I'm mostly on the placements this week. Lingmerth. I kind of was looking at Lingmerth, I believe, for. Let me see. Was it top Englishman? Who else is in that bracket?
Swede. The top Swede is David Lingmerth with the top amateur in the world, Ludwig Aberg.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go top amateur. Roll that. I mean, I'm not shying away from it with Lingmerth, I guess. I'll go with Lingmerth in that bracket. Looking at the rest of like the nationality props this week, I didn't love anything. I think that's probably the one I'm willing to take a stab at. I definitely wouldn't go put a full unit on it or anything. Like that's another like, little sprinkle, little sprink. But yeah, that's kind of like a 0.2 of a unit or 1/10 of a unit. What do you got, Jack?
Luke Donald's first round scoring average has been by far his best scoring average.
Oh, getting me too excited. All right. Yep. Sold. What are you doing? What are you doing with Justin Rose? What's the budget looking like? What are we doing here?
I'll probably throw. Now I gotta throw $10 on Luke Donald first round leader probably.
We spoke it into existence, I think.
I'll probably bet Luke Donald $10 first round leader.
Plus, you did the research. You did the extra research live on the show. That counts for something. It means that either it has to hit, or if it loses, you don't feel bad.
He is 63rd on the PGA Tour in round one scoring average. The next best round of his, he's 165th.
Yeah, I'd say that's a difference. That's a pretty big difference.
I would agree.
Yeah, I like it. First round leader, Luke Donald. You heard it here first. You probably only heard it here. It wasn't just first. It was only here at Golf
I'm sure.
Tap. No one's talking this in depth about Luke Donald. Are you kidding me? Jack, one and done picks. I don't know where we're at. I don't know what the sheet says. You still haven't sent it to me, Jagoff.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
That's okay. I was just giving you shit, but I do want to see it.
I'm still up by a lump sum. You did get a lot of points back. You got 57 points at the Players because Jason Day finished tied for 19th. Keegan Bradley hit it in the drink on 18 in round two after he had it going on early. He was playing pretty well until he wasn't. So he ended up missing the cut. I think it was my second missed cut of the entire one and done year. If I'm correct, I'm looking at it now. No, I think it's my first missed cut of the entire one and done year.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was a good run. But yeah, you needed that one to kind of get you back in the mix. I'm still up by a pretty large margin. So I am still first. This is a good one. I feel like, yeah, it is a really good spot for Sam Burns, and I don't really know if I'm going to use him anywhere else.
Where's the other place that he won?
He won at the Colonial.
Colonial, okay.
Colonial, and Sanderson Farms, which that tournament's already happened this year. So
I might have used him already for some reason. I think I used him once.
let me look.
It was either him or Fitzpatrick I've used.
You've used Fitzpatrick. You have not used Sam Burns yet.
Okay.
The top players that you've used are JT, Sung Jae, Fitzpatrick, and I guess I'd put Hideki in that group as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going Sam Burns.
Okay. That's definitely respectable, especially because that was on my short list of guys I was going to use here.
Mr. Benz.
Yeah, feel the burn. Keegan was, we had kind of already talked about this, but like Keegan was a guy that I was looking at for not only an outright, but a one and done. So the withdraw that we saw that happened earlier today that he withdrew, that kind of was a stinger. I feel like you were going to be on him as well.
I'm stupid.
Why?
Because I just love throwing money away on Keegan, even though he did win me a bunch of money.
Oh, well, you can't throw away any money on him. You got your money back if you bet him earlier in the week now. So
now I got Luke Donald money, so I'm in much better shape.
Yeah, exactly. Luke Donald makes up for all of it. That's like fun stupid. Keegan's just like your guilty pleasure at this point.
He's my new Corey Connors, honest to God.
Yeah, he really is. But he did win something for you. So there's that. The 150 to 200 yard bucket though for Keegan. He was expected to get, a lot of these guys are projected to get more of that range this week on Data Golf, but he's been one of the guys that have been really good at that range. So anyways, let's do one and done for me. I'm going to go with, talked a lot about him other than Luke Donald. This is probably the next most talked about guy for me this week. I am going to go with my Nani's name. Well, his last name, Justin Rose. So yeah, Justin Rose for me. I haven't used him, right? I don't think I have.
Not used Justin Rose, no.
Yeah, I like Justin Rose this week to at least have a good outing. Can't kill me. Then watch him miss the cut. Jack, what's your you got a favorite bet or favorite outright this week?
I'm gonna go with Justin Suh. I'm really feeling Justin Suh with how he's been playing these last 3 weeks. Can he putt if he's in contention on Sunday? Last time he wasn't very good at that, so I am a bit concerned, but I think his game's in a really good spot. The irons are just absolutely on fire, and that kind of, trumps all. Strokes gained approach is always the most important stat. If you're hitting your irons well, obviously you got to be putting yourself in a good spot off the tee. You can't just be hitting it anywhere, but Justin Suh, his tee to green game has been good. Irons have been absolutely on fire. I caught him at 40-1. Not the best number like we talked about when we went over him, but that's my favorite bet of the week. What do you got?
I like it. I definitely like Justin Suh. He's on the card. Favorite bet of the week. Man, this is tough because I want to take like a top 40. Can I say Luke Donald, first round leader?
There you go.
It's not actually my favorite bet, but I'm going to go with that for fun. And my favorite outright I'm actually going to go with is Justin Rose. I think he pulls another one out here in relatively quick order. So with that said, Jack, any final thoughts here about this tournament, the 2023 Valspar Championship?
Yeah, it's an exciting course that I really do enjoy. So I'm excited for this tournament to get going. Hopefully the snake pit is in full action on Sunday, but hopefully it's benefiting one of our guys and not costing them and us some cash money. Hopefully we're on the right end of the snake pit on Sunday.
Well said. Well said. Let's do it. You know what to do. Follow OnTap Sportsnet on social media. Follow us at OnTap Golf. Follow Jack at Jack Bushman 2. Follow me at Joey Knows Nothing. All the sports content, mostly Chicago sports, but betting related, beer reviews, all the different podcasts can be found at ontapsportsnet.com. Definitely, we shouted out Bet Rivers a lot on this show. Bet Rivers, you can go there and get a deposit match up to $250 using the promo code ONTAP. Go do that. And after you do that, watch all your bets hit because it's good karma. And Luke Donald is going to take home the first round leader. And that's just that. That's what's happening. With that being said, we are Golf on Tap. Crack them, lock them, and cash them. Good luck.